The opinions, viewpoints, and beliefs presented on this program do not necessarily reflect those of the management, the affiliates and broadcast partners, or the sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
Scarefest Radio, the radio you can see.
And hello and good evening, everyone, and welcome to another fun-filled episode of Scarefest TV. The original broadcast date is November 19th, 2021, and we're off starting the evening with technical problems out the wazoo. But we are finally on there. A nice round number to be off, so we can still tell what time we started, what time we ended, and all that. So anyway, hey, and Jake, it was not on my end this time. This time, it was not me. Never mind. Anyway, my guest tonight is Shane Blythe. Shane is a good friend, and I will call him the hangover sponsor of the Scarefest. But tonight, we're going to talk mostly about Blythe Paranormal Productions, which does not roll off my aged tongue here. I'll just point that out. We do have a celebrity announcement coming up at the half-hour mark. Bonehead Weekly, Joe's reviewing Midnight Mass, which has been popping up on, I think it's my Netflix, like every time I log in, trying to get me to watch that. And then beyond that, we've got some clips of Shane's that we'll try to show. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's see. I hope I set this up right. Yeah, I did. Cool. Hi, Shane. How you doing?
Hello, everybody.
I do need to change one little thing here before we go to... There we go. Now everyone can enjoy both of us at the same time on the same screen. First of all, okay, everybody. Now, Shane has been a supporter of one degree or another of Scarefest for as long as I've known him, but that's kind of how we met, I think. Different sponsorships this year. We were kind of skewed on sponsorships because we started so late and we weren't even sure what we were offering for a sponsorship. So what we did, I mentioned to Shane, we'll go for the featured vendor spot. And of course, Shane, being the generous guy that he had, jumped right into the what they call full featured vendor. Which is actually now called sponsoring vendors, so that when they send me emails about it, I know what the hell they're talking about, and I can tell the difference. But Shane, tell the people this little about your business venture, i.e. Blythe Paranormal Productions.
Well, it kind of started with me and the wife getting together, and we decided that we wanted to do some video and showing everybody the things that we do. But then I've got this great big idea while I was driving down the road that, hey, why don't we go ahead and start filming other teams and seeing all the techniques and all the methods that they use to share around the world. And we can just blog what we do and go from there. And she thought that was a pretty good idea. So we got this big, put Blythe Paranormal Productions together. And what we really want to do is we're trying to bring the pair unity together a little more for something that we filmed and we post or send out on social media, that a method or a technique that somebody uses in a group, they may be able to use it somewhere, say like out in California if they see it. But that's what it is. It's more like, hey, let's get together and use these techniques, and somebody out some west or somebody up north or somebody up south may use the same technique just to be able to get some kind of, response out of it of any kind.
The See, now I'm on the same wavelength to you. Actually, now one time I actually thought that would be a neat TV show, rather than have the paranormal team go out. Is have a film crew go to these individual teams, go to their
Yep.
favorite hot spot, and film, and no critique or anything, just film how they do an investigation. It would give you a good view of both the location, which was always my favorite part of the paranormal shows, and it would give, like you're describing, kind of an overview of how people are doing it, different
Exactly.
than how it should be done. Now, that's my personal opinion. But okay, and the other thing is, now it's interesting. I know you followed, we got some clips tonight to show from what's the name of the team? Because there's another. I don't want to say the wrong name because there's another team with a very similar name.
You talking about the Bluegrass Ghost Hunters and the Bluegrass Ghost Chasers.
Which one do you have? Did you send me clips of? Both.
We filmed Bluegrass Ghost Hunters out in Perryville.
Okay. But anyway, now one thing, when the last paranormal team that I was actually a part of, that was actually something we did. We actually had one member whose only job was to film us, not to do the sizzle reel, everybody, or try to get it on a network show. We did an investigation where we caught ourselves after the fact making a big mistake.
Yeah.
I.e., not watching someone that was there for the investigation make noise that the cameras picked up. And we were thinking, oh, wow, this is a great EVP. And, we wasted a whole lot of time, when if we had just had a camera on the homeowner's son, we would have known that it was him talking under his breath. And he wasn't trying to be malicious about it. He was just talking to his mother and whispering, and we did not catch it at the time. And I could not believe I made such an amateur mistake. But after that, that was my rule. I wanted a camera on everybody. I wanted a cameraman to cover as many people as we could.
Yeah.
And I actually told the camera person, I said, I don't care if the wall starts bleeding behind you, you keep the camera on us.
Yeah, that's the whole thing about it. Well, just like you said, you catch some of the things that you make mistakes at and do, because when we go out and we do teams, we actually try to send them the full video of everything that they, have done. That might be, if they're out there 8 hours, I break it down and send 8 hours worth of everything that they got. But most of the time, what we do is, if they don't have it, we just make it into a package for them and give them, 40, 45 minutes, maybe up to an hour of what they done that night.
Well, no, I'll put it this way. I know enough about paranormal investigations to know there would be an awful lot of B-roll. People walking up the hall, and there's nothing happening. I actually get nervous when people tell me, oh, this place was active from the time we got there, and, we caught all this great evidence. It was so exciting. Anytime I hear the word exciting in conjunction with a ghost hunt, my little bullshit meter just starts going off. And it's not that I haven't been excited on a ghost hunt. It's that if you're not spending at least 75% of your time just talking to dark rooms and staring at walls, I mean, there's something wrong. Now, in your travels, I am curious, you've because I asked you about a place that you had filmed them just recently, and you'd already been there like 5 times. In your travels, what are some of the more haunted locations, or that you feel are haunted, more active? What are some of the more active locations that you've encountered?
I'll be honest with you. You've got an active location like in Waverly Hills. It's haunted, but it's not super active.
I agree. It's almost like there's not enough ghosts there to go around.
it's like they won't come out.
Too much territory.
Exactly. That's the thing of it. But if you really want me to put a pinpoint on one that I've been to that's really been super active, every time that I've went, and that would be Old South Pittsburgh.
I've heard great things there. That's on my bucket list of places to go. I've heard
You've
great
gotta
things about Old South, but I've never been. That's in South Pittsburgh, Tennessee, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, okay, now do you happen to know why they call it South Pittsburgh? Is there like a North Pittsburgh, Tennessee, or did they say, well, we're south of the real Pittsburgh?
I never asked. I never asked if there was a South Pittsburgh or a Middle Pittsburgh or North Pittsburgh or a middle one. I just went there. I heard it was haunted. That it was more of an extreme. It would be an extreme haunt. It wouldn't be like a mediocre haunt. I grade my haunts on beginners, mediocre, and then extreme. And they would be an extreme haunt for me because you go in that place, you might not see anything, but you'll come out with 25 EVPs.
No, I could say the same thing about my hometown haunt. That he does have some footage of in tonight's stuff. Because now one thing I have said about the Ross Opera House, which is one of the places you've been lately, is that if you go in there and you spend the 4 to 6 hours like you pay for, which is only like $25 if they haven't upped the price, then if you don't get anything in that period, you did it wrong. That's just, that's how I feel about that place.
Yeah, I agree with you. Roz is a really great place for somebody to go learn to do EVPs and burst sessions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And also, I need to teach you my little dowsing rod trick to get the kids to play with you. But that's a whole nother story. I don't want to get too far inside. I didn't want. Okay, now, do you tend? How do teams? How's this going? I guess is the first question. How many teams are reaching out to you? Because now the reason I'm asking it and kind of hedging it a little bit, paranormal teams.
Yep.
Tend to be very, very territorial.
Yes.
If they've got their favorite haunt in their hometown, they don't want anybody there, let alone a cameraman that knows other teams.
That's true.
Have you encountered that? And then tell us about the luck you've had with getting teams to accept you and what you do.
I actually haven't encountered anything like that, but I understand what you're saying. But this is one of those things that we're trying to break. It's like, yeah, you may have investigated this, and this may be your hometown, but it's like me coming over to your house every day and asking you questions and doing things. Eventually, you're going to say, "Can you just stay home once?" Plain and simple. But you bring in new, fresh faces. You bring in new people. You may get more than what you bargained for. I mean, you might get, the granddaddy of them all, and somebody see an actual apparition and get it filmed or something like that. But that's what we're trying to do. We don't run into anybody that's really territorial right now. We are going to Texas February of next month, which is going to be great. We do have a team that's lined up within the next 2 months, I believe. He actually wanted us to film tonight, but we couldn't film tonight. As far as getting teams, they're really excited. And I think they get really, really kind of hesitant because they're like, I don't know if I could trust them. It's like, we're building our resume. We're young, we're small potatoes in all this. But the thing of it is when we come out, we're there for you. Now, we film what you want us to film. If you're going to do history, you're going to do hot spots, and then you're going to do all your investigation. That's fine. That's what I'm there for. If we do 8 hours of investigation, we got it all on film. And the advantage to that is where I've done my investigations and kind of a seasoned paranormal investigator myself. You don't have to listen for the evidence. When I bring it home, I'll find it for you.
You know what, though? Okay, now before we go to commercial break, I got to tell you, now that would not have rocked for me because I was always so anal about it, even when I had a team around me. And one time we did a big investigation, and I sent video home with everybody and audio home with everybody, and I still listened to every bit of it when they brought it back to me.
Yeah.
what will they miss? What will they, And anyway, everybody, we're going to do a commercial break now. We'll be right back after this commercial message from our sponsor.
Everyone is talking about CBD oil, and it seems like almost everyone is using it. The research is ongoing, but the apparent health benefits are overwhelming. If you're going to use CBD products, though, what brand should you buy? First, find out where the hemp was grown. Imports are flooding the market. How potent is it? Look for a brand that plainly states its concentration on the label. And look for full spectrum CBD. This means the oil contains CBD and all the other cannabinoids, terpenes, and nutrients that are found in the entire cannabis plant. Look for Blue Leaf CBD oil. Blue Leaf Naturals is a Kentucky proud company. They use only Kentucky-grown hemp, supporting Kentucky farmers and businesses. Visit their website at blueleafcbd.com now and use the code SMILE at checkout for free shipping.
Mama Anita.
And welcome back, everybody, to Scarefest TV. My guest tonight is Shane Blythe, as it says on the screen. So anyway, we're talking about Blythe Paranormal Productions. And we're talking about what he does for teams, with teams, however you want to juggle that around. And we've got some clips to show you. Do most teams want for you just to send them all the raw footage and they put together their own little sizzle reel for YouTube, or do they want an edited,
It's completely up to them. If they want us just to come out and me send them all the raw footage when I get home, because we run our own recorders, we run our own video. We keep to the basics on that part. They use their own equipment,
right?
As in everything that I've got, I use for them on the video that I make. Nobody's really asked for the raw footage yet. I've got it. I store it. It's in the cloud. But if they want that part, or if anybody ever doubts what I post, I've got the footage to say, here, you look over it yourself. There it is. I'm not out there to cheat anybody. To be honest with you, what we do is free. We go out for free and we video.
That's a bullshit business model, Shane.
It might be, but I look at it this way. You go out there and you put out that good energy. It's all about good energy. That good energy is going to come back to you 10 times fold somehow, someday. And that's the way I look at it.
Karma is a slow bitch, though. She's a slow bitch. Anyway, to answer a question in the chat room, and this has nothing to do with you, you can find us on YouTube anytime you want by just do a search for Scarefest Television or Scarefest Radio. The channel carries both names, and it pops up pretty high in the search results because so far no one has stolen that from us. So I just wanted to give that to one of our new viewers there. But anyway, okay, back to you, Shane. So I still can't wrap my head around you not charging for this shit. See, okay, I can know.
I won't say that I don't charge, but we do ask if there's a fee and it's usually just me and my wife. If there is a fee, we ask to cover that, or at least one of them.
I actually shouldn't have worded it that way, because I still do a lot of free stuff. When somebody tells me, "Oh my God, we played with the Ouija board and now the baby cries at 3 a.m." Yeah, I still, I don't, for one, but see, I'm on a more personal basis because I don't like anybody to feel trapped by me going into their home. That being said, there's just like the doing the podcasting thing. I did it pretty much free. Matter of fact, I was paying for the privilege for years. And I finally got tired of doing that shit. I said, nope. Got to get sponsors, I got to get a paying gig, or my passion only ran so long. So anyway, but that's great that you do it like that.
Well, it's like, I don't mean to cut you off, but it's like I said, it's a good vibe thing. I mean, me and my wife, we put out a lot of good energy, or I should say, my wife and I, proper English.
Yeah, like we're real sticklers for that around here, Shane. Go ahead.
But I mean, we just put out good energy. We do our investigations. We do our ghost hunts, which is a difference between both of them. And we got one heck of a crew that we go with when we do our ghost hunts, and I video them a lot. Uh, I think I sent you a cut of one of the investigators that are with me doing the dowsing rods. And
That one had no audio with it. Damn it.
no, I cut the audio
Well, that sucks.
because there was too much chatting in the background.
Oh, okay, well. I got that. I said, well, what's he want me to do with this? Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead. We are gonna play a clip right now. This was in your numerology was number 2. So we're gonna throw this up here. We'll talk about it when we come back, but we're muted so the people can hear what's going on. Go ahead.
Our paranormal explorations takes us to Cynthiana, Kentucky, rich in history for the Revolutionary War and Civil War. But we're not here to explore the town. We're here to explore Ross Opera House. Ross Opera House was built in 1865 and is said to be one of the most haunted buildings in Kentucky. But before we get started with the investigation, we have a little place that we want to go to.
I should have warned my producer where we would go next. Okay, everybody. Now that is an actual introduction to something you were doing, obviously.
Yeah.
Now, of course, their stop, incidentally, was the old cemetery, as we call it.
Oh yeah.
And you actually did get a pretty interesting clip from there. I think that's number 3. We'll go ahead and show that. Now, everybody, watch this. The audio is bullshit. Don't worry about it. It's got some EVPs, but they're nothing that you're going to write home about. But the actual video is pretty cool by my standards.
Don't be shy. None of this equipment will hurt you. Red light always stays on. I said, yep. It's been a while since we've been out here.
Tell us where to go. Is there any animals out here?
Now, I'm taking that was something that was just, now that was it the team you were getting ready to film there, or was that just you and your wife just wanted to stop in, or what was the story behind that?
We when we first went to Roz, we stopped in there, and we've been up there, but about and then we came back up about 7 years ago and checked it out during the day again, and it was really active. So we were just kind of doing a 7-year sort of anniversary thing right there, and we went in there, and of course, audio there is always great. And so me and her was just walking around, and she asked the question, which direction do you want us to go? Now, before that, it gave me a REM pod hit to the direction I wanted to go, but I just thought it was needed because I replayed that 50 times to see if it was the wind, and the wind doesn't pick up until after it moves.
Me looking at it, I'm thinking, what kind of a wind gust would it take to actually move?
Right.
K2. I'm not saying I wouldn't bet the farm on it, but just so you know, it was a neat little play there. Now, as far as EVPs in a cemetery, now this is me showing my old school. I hate to use the word skeptic because you can't believe everything that I believe and still call yourself a skeptic. However, on evidentiary collection, I am kind of a hard ass in that when you're outside, you're always going to get wind noise. And if this is to all the paranormal teams out there. If I had not heard so many bad EVPs that you all just absolutely swore or it was proof of life after death, then I'd probably be more lenient. The ghost box, on the other hand, I've sat through a lot of really bad ghost box sessions. And now, don't get me wrong. Now, this is one that I don't mind using. I use it frequently myself. It's a great way to break up the evening. Sometimes you get really good stuff off of it. So, but yeah, the moving K2 was pretty nifty, I would say. Now now how many times have you been to the? I don't want to just be a commercial for the Ross Opera House though, because they don't sponsor me, but I do love the place, you know.
Yeah.
So you've been there, what, 5-6 times? I think you told me.
Yeah, it's around that area. I remember the first time we went there, the EMF was so high, we got headaches and everything else. But they've worked on the building so much, it's come down a lot.
I went on the ghost hunt one night. I got my new tri-field meter because and I wanted to test it out. And we went on the ghost walk, and the entire town is just an EMF pit. I don't know what it is. Theoretically, it's got old power lines, but it's got the underground. It's actually got a river that runs under limestone caves feed into the river under the town in several spots. And so there's theories that creates the constant EMF. I don't know. I'm just saying that, yeah, it's not unusual. It has nothing to do with the building as much as it's just that town. And it does make it hard, though, to discern what is paranormal and what is not.
That's true.
It makes it very hard, you know, and then you get into the theoretical side of it. Well, maybe the EMF enables the paranormal activity, because there's plenty of ghost stories around town. Otherwise, it wouldn't bother having a ghost walk. So, yeah, there's that. Okay, we're at the next 15-minute mark. We're going to do our second commercial break. Got a commercial, then we'll come back. We're going to give you our celebrity announcement, our first announcement for Scarefest 2022. And I know that's what you've all been waiting for.
Oh, yeah.
Spirit Mechanics is here to help. Their background includes many different specialties across the metaphysical spectrum, including alchemy, shamanism, Celtic witchcraft, angelic magic, astral travel, and more.
With over 30 years combined experience in the group, you can be confident in their ability to help. If there is a question you have that you cannot answer, they will do their best to assist you.
Metaphysics can be intimidating, confusing, and unfortunately, abused. Spirit Mechanics takes pride in being selfless in the pursuit of helping others, being humble and honest with their clients about their questions, and lastly, maintaining a professional and personable atmosphere. They want you to feel as you are coming to a close friend, and they will do everything in their power to make you comfortable and safe.
And our first celebrity announcement for Scarefest 2020 is Mr. C.J. Graham. Of course, you know him from part 6 of the whole Camp Crystal Lake anthology series. I don't know what the hell you call it. But anyway. Friday 13th, part 6. Also did I think technically it's a fan film, but Vengeance. He did a movie, he played a part in the movie Highway to Hell. But C.J. Graham, Jason Voorhees, part 6. So there you go. We had him Camp Scarefest, the year we did Camp Scarefest. So he has been Scarefest before, but he is hot on the con circuit, and we've got him this year. Did I say 2020? I'm sorry, Jake. 2022. Anyway, it'll take me a long time to get all my years, because this is just all blurred together. Okay, that's our celebrity announcement for tonight. And the graphic looks like that because it was thrown together 15 minutes before showtime, because my new graphics guy called in sick this week, Brandon. And he didn't get it done. So anyway, does it say it on the graphic? I'm sorry, Jake. Well, see, that's what happens when you cut and paste. I guess I pasted the wrong year into that. I think I probably took that off of the film festival from, yep, I did. Jacked it up. Okay. I'll fix that in post. I will fix that in post, as we like to say.
We're very professional here.
Well, it's I still have jet lag from Scarefest. I'll be honest with you. I have not caught up. I don't feel like I've caught up on my rest. Certainly haven't caught up on the 30 days of work I gave up going into it. So yeah,
I tell you, it was amazing. I had such a great time there. It was a year to be there, and I about cried when it was time to go home. It was just too much fun.
I about cried by Sunday because my feet hurt so bad. But that being said, that was when I asked Aaron Ryder for, or actually it was Friday or Saturday. So do you have any like wisdom tooth Vicodin? That last pill that you keep when you have your wisdom teeth pulled? Because I was in pain. I took a handful of ibuprofen. I think it was Saturday morning, and I mean I just literally just poured a bottle in my hand like Tic Tacs. I didn't.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it helped a little bit. So anyway, so yeah,
just a little bit.
Yeah, so I'll have to go in and edit that freaking graphic now. So, but if I leave it, then people on YouTube know what we were talking about. If we don't change it, then it gives the show character. Okay. Best way, of course, I guess the best way to get in touch with you if a team is interested in your procuring your services is just to look you up on Facebook.
You can look up on Facebook. It's called the quick thing is at Blythe Vids, BLYTHES Vids, VIDS. You can catch me on Facebook there. You can message me there, and my phone number is actually on there. I prefer you text me first because I just don't answer for any number.
I put my number on my business card, so now I just answer everything. And
I've done the same thing, and lately I've been trying to break the trend of not answering. So I've been answering everything and finding out my vehicle warranty is up.
My new favorite thing to do to telemarketers, the real ones where you get a human and they ask for you by name.
Yeah.
Is just say, hold on, I'll get him. And lay the phone down and walk the hell away. That's my favorite thing. I've got some really good ones, but some of them are kind of racy to put on the show. Anyway, okay, so everybody, if you're got a paranormal team and you want to be filmed, do you consider what you do more of a control video or a investigative video? How do you look at what you do when you go in for a team?
Well, you got to look at it like it's a reality. It's a reality video. Whatever happens on video is going to be put on video. But it's going to be completely up to the team what they want on video. If they say it's up to your discretion, our discretion, we're going to put on there everything we possibly can to make that team look spectacular. We're not out to sugarcoat anything, even though we are filming. I still have my beliefs in the paranormal as I'm filming. We do have contracts that we do sign that we reserve the right to stop filming at any time. And I haven't ran into anything like that. But the thing of it is, me and my wife and the team that I investigate with, when we do our fun, I call them the core. We want to do more for paranormal than just, say, hey, I got an EVP. We want to find out why somebody gets an attachment, why that attachment stays around. What was the reason? The way she looked? Did she remind you of somebody? Did she smell good? Just anything like that. Just anything that we could possibly do, even in video.
It's energy.
Well, I agree. It's all about energy. I agree with that.
Well, I'm just, as far as why they attach, okay, see, I can get in all these paranormal theoretical discussions. Actually, they're not even theories because you can't actually test this shit right now. But I'm just saying, generally, my experience has been one of two things happen when somebody takes something home with them. They ask for it, number one.
Yep.
That's probably the most common, because if I okay, now how do you not get your butt puckered if you go on let's say you're following a team around and they start doing that ghost adventures type stuff where use my energy and that type of stuff.
Well, we don't mind if they use the energy thing, but if you got a team of 5 and 4 of them are getting possessed by the first hour we're there, then it's like we walk away. Because honestly, that's not a legit team. This is not commercialized. I'm out there being serious and spending my time to help. And if you want to come out here and make a joke of what I'm doing, then I'll walk away.
Has that happened? Have you felt like any team that you went to work with did not take you seriously?
No, actually, everybody that I've worked with, they've actually asked me questions about some things that they should do or should not do. My response is, if I was a investigator, I would try this, but it's all completely up to you because this is about you and your team. It's not about me.
That's kind of my next question. Now, do you go out of your way to be very, very quiet? In other words,
hard. It's extremely hard, and yeah, I've had to edit a couple times of me going, doing something like that because I hear something or I see something. It's hard. I mean, but after all the investigations that I've done, and you run into a situation like that, I pretty much have to put duct tape across my mouth.
See, I can picture myself being like that. One of my old war stories is we were doing an EVP session around a kitchen cabinet in a antique mall, and for some reason we were drawn to this kitchen cabinet, and we were doing a EVP session and had the meters out and all this stuff, and we said, okay, basically said, okay, show us you're here. And the door opened on the cabinet on cue. Now, someone in the team said, well, I was technically touching it. I don't think I could have shook it that much. But anyway, so the thing is, we asked the ghost to do something. Something happened, and I went, fuck me. I said, wow, way to make an impression on the ghost, Wesley. So yeah. And if I'd been... actually, there probably is video of that somewhere because I know I wasn't the only person that owned a camera in that group. But anyway, so I just wanted to.
That would actually be. See, that's what I didn't send you the EVP we caught at Postel Middle School when we were doing our ghost hunts with the team that I go out with. It was actually a really good because I should have sent it to you and let you think about if you wanted to put it on or not, but
well, that's the thing about EVPs on TV.
Yeah,
they don't always play that well. The other thing is, now this is a little insider talk on which I talked to you about just last Sunday. I think it was. We were talking about EVPs, and this goes back. Now I'm going to tie it to what everybody's real world experience. If you've ever watched the TV shows, in particular, Ghost Adventures might be the worst offender that I've seen, but this is nothing against them. They'll play an EVP, and they'll tell you what they think it says, and you'll hear it, and you'll go, I don't hear shit. That sounds like somebody's thumb on the microphone or whatever.
Yeah.
But when you're trying to decipher EVPs, the speakers that you're listening to it on make all the difference in the world. I.e., if you are watching this show on your phone and I start playing EVPs for the next half hour, you will probably not enjoy the show.
Right.
Just going to put that out there. If you're watching it on your TV or your whatever, unless you've got a really good set of headphones and, you a surround sound system, whatever, EVPs are not, well, they're very rarely are they good enough that you can watch them on TV and go, oh my God,
Yeah.
So just wanted to add that to the conversation.
I
Now,
agree. Doing EVPs is hard because you can only go as loud as so much because you start drowning out the EVP. And then said, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different sets of headsets that I use EVPs for and a speaker. So it's like you've got to, and that's not including just the standard speaker that comes in the laptop or the TV that I use.
Now, one trick that I've seen done, I saw the experiments on it. Basically, someone, and I'll go ahead and give him credit. David Roundtree did an experiment, and he found out some microphones worked a lot better at picking up. Actually, what they're picking up is EMF, which if the waveform matches if the waveform from the energy matches the waveform of a word, we hear a word. Now, that's the theory behind it, but the point is, some microphones are really good at picking up EVPs, and some sucked at it. It's absolutely picked up nothing. Well, he started fixing this little thing where he could record, and Paul Browning has worked on this too. But basically, you use 2 microphones, and then when you put the waveforms up on your computer, you can actually watch, and when they diverge when they go apart, they diverge. In other words, if you get something on one waveform you're not getting on the other, that's where you need to listen. Because, recording me is going to look the same on both pretty much. Recording you is going to look the same, but if there's something outlier, then that would be something that would make it stand out. Now, I'm going to go back to you doing this free of charge. It still blows me away because I've seen... I had a lot of cameras when I was doing this. I was up to 16. Now, that being said, I did not use all 16 at one time on any investigation. I think my top might have been 8. In other words, I'd have the DVR system, that's 4, and then 4 handhelds or stationary, whatever I did with them.
Right.
Now, how many, do you do most of this just on the fly, where you carry it around and let the team worry about their own stationary video?
No, what I usually do is when we're in a building, I usually put a stationary camera at a hot spot out of the way. That way I can film because my cameras will film all night long, up to about 12 hours. And the SD card will film along with it. So I'll put it in, plug it in, and let it roll. And what I'll do is I'll set it to where it captures the whole room just in case that a team breaks off from where the camera is, which I hold mobile. I do have one mobile camera that I carry with me. And then I've got 6 cameras that I use. I got 4 4Ks and 2 high defs. The high defs are the ones I usually put in stationary cameras, but since I've got 2 more 4Ks, I'll throw those in the stationary areas. But as far as swinging, there is only one mobile that I like to use. Unless a team likes to break up and do separates, then, the wife going to have to learn a little faster how to use the rig to hold a camera.
See, now my problem with it was always, and this early on, I think that's why I burned out so quick because I jumped in too headstrong on investigating, and you figure you had 8 cameras. Each camera produced 4 to 6 hours of video, and then I would sit there and I would go through all that. And sometimes it was a different angle in the same damn room. And so and then that and DVRs just make my eyes cross because you. Oh yeah. If you don't watch them one video at a time, if you put them up on the screen at one time, then it just gives you a headache. But at the same time, I've been lucky enough to catch some decent evidence that way.
Yeah. You'll be amazed what you catch in just stationary cams. Stationary cams are really good because they do pick up things where it's quiet and you're away
Mhm.
from the area.
The other thing I like about well, not so much stationary cams, but I like stationary audio too. You just have to be aware of where the team is at any given point. And you do have to be a little pickier about what you call an EVP, because if there's any chance the recorder can pick up you in another part of the building doing a session, you know, but at the same time, it does tend to, in other words, ghost, or if you believe in ghost, let's lay it out for people. If you believe in ghost, then you have pretty much would believe, well, they're there all the time. You're in their house. You're the ones that are the anomaly. They're just going about doing their stuff. Maybe they're playing with you, or, wondering what the hell you're doing in their basement. Beyond that, they're going about their whatever ghosts do. God, wouldn't it be like the meme going around? Wouldn't it be really bad if you find out when you die, you just have to go back to work, and like Bruce Willis in that movie where he was still, thought he was a psychologist. Anyway, that's where I was going with that. Okay, yes, producer, we'll do a commercial break. Everybody, we'll be right back with more Scarefest TV.
So how's school?
It's going pretty well.
What's up with that girl your mom says you like?
Actually, there's this school dance coming up, and...
we're here.
Nice truck.
Yeah, that's my dad's new truck.
Well, what do you think?
It is really nice. Wow.
Now, what were you asking before?
There's this dance tonight, and...
Well, why would you want to take my truck when you could take your truck?
Hey, Scarefest, this is Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly. This week's review is from a guy whom I just love his work. His name's Mike Flanagan. He does a bunch of stuff for Netflix. If you've never heard of him, House on Haunted Hill, House of Bly Manor. He also directed that mirror movie, whatever it's called, where the evil mirror is possessed. He directed Dr. Sleep, which I liked. 2 hours of. It's about 2.5 hours long, though. But he's just a fantastic filmmaker. I love almost everything he did. And this week, we're going to talk about Midnight Mass. Now, Midnight Mass is 7 episodes. It is on Netflix. And it's about a small, isolated island. Don't know necessarily where. I'm just assuming New England. And one of the prodigal sons, Zach Guilford, as Riley Flynn, shows back up because he's accidentally killed somebody drunk driving. He did prison time, and he's come back to his family home, and he's going to be there for a while. Now, and that's all well and good, but something else has showed up with him. What is it? It kills a bunch of cats and some animals on the island. What's going on? And then we're introduced to all the different characters that go throughout. And Kate Siegel is one of the main actresses, and Annabeth Gish. And some of these people you would know if you've ever watched The Haunting of Bly Manor or The Haunting of Hill House, which I thoroughly enjoyed his version of The Haunting of Hill House. Now, is it any good? Yes, it is very good. It is very well acted. It's very well written. Why did I call it Midnight Monologues? Well, I have to give my friend of mine, Laurel, who's a writer, credit for that. And I thought it's apropos. It's appropriate. And the reason is that you'll be watching it and a character will be talking about something. And we're going to sit here and they're going to move about 4 feet out to a medium shot. The camera catch up. And then they're going to move into the close-up as the character talks for the next 5 minutes of exposition and talking about their lives. And then the other character is going to be on the other couch, on the other side of the couch. We're going to cut to that angle. And then we're going to start out here in a medium shot and just kind of move move in as they do another 5 or 6 minutes. And that happens a lot through the show because every character gets quite a bit of attention, which is makes it a little bit better. And it is a horror show. It does have horrific elements. Now, some people are let down by what the actual horror is. I wasn't so much let down by that. My big critique, other than the midnight monologues, there's a lot of monologues in it and we explain everything. My big critique is with the seventh show. I love the wraparound. I love that there are character decisions that make absolutely no good sense. For example, without giving too much away, these folks decide to start the villains just like, let's burn it down. And they start burning down things, not realizing they may need some shelter later. I mean, that's just so stupid. I was yelling at the screen because it seemed like it was an easy out for writing. It was like, oh, this is a reason. It just doesn't work for me. Now, don't get too attached to anybody in this movie. In fact, one character dies twice tragically, and they're both really good deaths. I liked it. I really did. It sounds like I'm crapping on it. I'm not. It's so well acted. It's so well done. I love everything Mike Flanagan did. It's just the 7th episode, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You're going, why did she burn that? That's just stupid. It's just easy enough for them to explain. Oh my God, you're going to go crazy. You're just going to go crazy. But I really like Midnight Mass. Check it out on Netflix. It's a little bit of a dedicated 7 hours is a lot, but it's totally worth it. I really enjoy it. It's been Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly. Thank you for listening to me.
And welcome back, everybody, and thank you, Joe, from Bonehead Weekly, for your weekly movie review. We can always count on you. I will say the man turns them out. He will not miss a show. Anyway, okay. So we've been talking to Shane Blythe tonight about Blythe's Paranormal Productions and the services that they offer. Just because I'm curious. Because now a lot of your equipment looks. I bought all my stuff on like eBay, so I was buying it all used, and But I was a fan of the old Sony cameras. Part of that was me. I love those old Sony cameras,
right?
Because for a while their infrared night vision stuff kind of sucked. In between Sony and the new stuff that came out, there was a gap in there where it wasn't good. But now, take a ballpark. What do you think you've invested in video and investigative equipment?
I just sank another $500 into it last week. So I'm probably up around, with just that guy and everything that besides the wirelesses, even with the wirelesses, I'm looking about 3,500.
No, that's not too bad. That's not as bad as I thought it could be.
I have a wife that keeps me on chains.
I didn't notice when you set up at the thing at the Mystical Market. I'm impressed with your tripods. I had all these little shitty aluminum ones. You got these big heavy duty ones.
I had the aluminum ones, but when I take them out there, they're too light, especially if you're doing outside work.
Oh yeah,
we have to pull over. You got to have a little bit of weight. And the ones I've got have hooks on them where I can put more weight to it, and they hold my battery packs a lot better.
So 3,500 isn't horrible because 16 cameras when I had it, that could I might have had that much invested. Of course, I had 7 EMF meters. Who the hell needs 7 EMF meters? Every time I would see one come up on eBay, I said, I don't have that one. And they all, there's actually like 3 of them that you actually could use. K2, and most of them do the same thing as K2. They just shotgun it. Then the millimeter is kind of neat because it's filtered. And then I do like my old tri-field. It's not sexy, but I like it.
Hey, but it's legit.
So we ask you, okay, now in filming this, we'll go back to our previous conversation.
Okay.
When you're filming for someone else, has anything really caught your attention during the filming, or has it all been in review that you say, "Oh wow, that's kind of cool"?
No, there's a lot of things as I'm filming, because sometimes, like, just say somebody does like the Estes method, and that's what Bluegrass Ghost done. Let me quick shout out to them and tell them thank you. They done the Estes method, and I was able to watch around the area of where they're at, and I was catching up behind them, some shadow figure. But where I had the camera so focused on them and their group that my camera didn't pick up on that part. So after I seen that, it was one of those deals where I said I'm gonna have to get a couple more 4Ks, and that way I can place them around the area to pick up on that. Plus, I've got three different floods. One that does 200 foot, and two of them that does 100 foot.
And now I'm gonna save you a little money. Best infrared light you can get. Go to a pet store and buy the ones that are made for keeping snakes warm. Actual heat lamp bulb.
Yeah.
Those things are absolutely awesome. And I'm talking about the small ones. If you get the big 250 watt, it'll wash your video out. They're so powerful.
Wow.
But yeah, I found out that if you get the little 25 and 50 watt, just itty bitty little bulbs. But I mean, you know, at the same time, now if somebody knocks your tripod over or your lamp over, yeah, you can start a fire. That's the drawback. They, because they actually do put out heat along with the infrared light. But as far as the quality of the light, they will light up a room. Now, also, I had the flood. I've still got all this shit. It's in the spare bedroom, buried under a bunch of Scarefest T-shirts and shit. That's something I did not announce. Okay, people, we are getting ready to do a reorder on Scarefest T-shirts for 2021 because so many people at the convention, we were out of them before they could buy them. So we're going to do a pre-order. Could try to do that for Christmas. I don't know how far along they are on the process. Basically, they're going to post it on Facebook and say, here, if you want to buy one, go to our ticket page and you'll be able to buy one. We'll figure out how to do. Probably have to overprice them to cover shipping, because guess what? Shipping is outrageous now. Unless we get Amazon to do it for us. The film festival entries are open. Tickets are on sale. Vendor booths are on sale. And we're going to be putting a merch section on Scarefest up very soon with the other items that we had. That is all stuff that's in the works for Christmas, but I did not mention that, and I should have. Shane, it's been fun talking to you. It's been fun catching up a little bit. It's unusual to do it completely sober when I'm around you, but
hey, if I only get accused of making other people drunk, I'm fine.
and then I'm not going to share with the public. I'll just say that I did a really bad tarot reading for his daughter last weekend. And after I did it, I went up to Shane and I said, no, I didn't tell her to do this. Make sure she didn't interpret it that way. I'll leave the story there. But it has been, and it's great. Shane, now that's another thing, everybody. I told you how to get in touch with him on Facebook. He's at the Central Kentucky Mystical Market pretty much every month.
Now, we will be there. We'll be in the Las Vegas Para Unity for next month.
Right,
in December. Right. And I've got a filming in January in Virginia that I have to do. So I won't make December or January.
Okay, so everybody ignore what I just told you.
But usually every month.
Yeah, usually, I think this will be the first time he's missed 2 in a row. I'll say that. You're ahead of me. I don't even think I know the January dates yet. So I do their website, and I don't think anybody's told me that. So so the show's over. Blah blah blah. Everybody, I am still, like I said, we were talking, I am still on Scarefest hangover. I'm still trying to catch up on my day job. And one of my day jobs involves rounding up supplies to do leather work. And we have chased stuff all over the United States of America trying to find it. And then if you get it on a truck, it never comes straight to Kentucky. The one we had one order that shipped out of Ohio, went to Pennsylvania, came back to Ohio, went back to Pennsylvania again just for good measure before it came to Kentucky. So, and it wore me out. Anyway, enough belly aching and crying. Blythe Paranormal Productions. You can find it under Blythe Vids. It's easier to look up Shane Blythe. Just look
and if
him
they
up.
want to, they can go to my YouTube channel. It's just Shane Blythe.
There you go. See how easy that was? Spelling's right there on the screen, everybody. Thanks for watching this week. We're going to be back next week. We're not even sure what we're doing yet. I'm trying to get another film director on because we had a lot of fun last week talking film director, just because I can ask really stupid questions to really smart people, and they feel like they have to be nice to me. So everybody, tune in next week, and hopefully, we've got like half a dozen celebrity announcements in the pipe. So we should be able to start dropping these names fairly consistently, fairly quickly. And Shane, I might get to see you next month anyway. I might go to Las Vegas.
Oh yes.
We're debating. We're debating whether everybody's gonna be healthy enough to by then. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. This has been Scarefest TV.